You tell yourself you're staying in that career because you're loyal. You tell yourself you're dragging that relationship forward because you don't quit. You tell yourself you're grinding through the misery because you have discipline. I'm here to tell you that you are lying to yourself. You aren't staying because of loyalty or grit or honor. You are staying because of a cognitive glitch called the sunk cost fallacy. You are terrified that if you walk away now, the last 10 years of your life were a waste. You look at the time you've invested, the late nights, the sacrifices, the money, and you think, I can't leave now. I've put too much in. So instead of cutting your losses, you sign up for another 10 years of misery just to prove you weren't wrong. You're paying for your past with your future. And it's the most expensive purchase you will ever make. Welcome to the Resurrection Series. Today, we're breaking you out of the 10-year trap. Let's define the enemy. The sunk cost fallacy is the psychological tendency to continue an endeavor simply because we have already invested money, effort, or time into it, even if the current costs outweigh the benefits. It's rooted in something called loss aversion. Psychologically, the pain of losing feels twice as bad as the pleasure of gaining. Your brain would rather avoid admitting defeat on the last 5 years than actually gain a better life for the next 50. Think about a gambler at the blackjack table. He loses 5 grand. Logic says, walk away, stop the bleeding. But his brain says, no. If I walk away now, that 5 grand is gone forever. But if I stay, if I put another 5 grand down, maybe I can win it back. He isn't playing to win anymore. He's playing to avoid the reality of his loss. In your life, this manifests as the prisoner mindset. The prisoner looks at his last decade, the degree, the title, the social circle, and he sees a cage. He thinks, I built this house. Now I have to live in it. He serves a life sentence in a career he hates because he is too proud to admit he picked the wrong blueprint. I see this show up in 3 specific areas for the men I coach. I want you to scan your life right now and determine which one are you. First is the career trap. You spent 4 years in college and 6 years climbing the corporate ladder. You're a VP now. You make good money, but you're hollow. You dread Monday mornings, but you won't leave. Why? Because you think leaving means wasting that degree. So you spend the next 20 years miserable just to justify a decision an 18-year-old version of you made. Number 2 is the relationship trap. This is the hard one. You know it's over. The values don't align, the mission isn't shared, but you've been together for 7 years. You have history. You stay hoping it'll change, not because you see a future, but because you are terrified of erasing the past. And number 3 is the identity trap. This was mine. You build an identity. For me, it was the athlete. For you, it may be the party guy or the grinder. You realize that identity is killing you. It's causing hypertension. It's ruining your sleep. But you don't change because you don't know who you are without it. You stick to the script because it's familiar, even if the script is a tragedy. I'm not judging you. I was you. I spent 10 years as a fitness and nutrition coach, Coach Coos. That was the name on the jersey. But earlier this year, the metrics of my life crashed. Revenue dropped over 50%. I accumulated a mass amount of debt. My health took a hit with the pre-hypertension diagnosis. I was staring at another total system failure. The prisoner part of my brain screamed, you can't pivot now. You've done this for a decade. Just grind harder, make more posts, find more clients. And I was terrified that if I changed my business model, if I stopped being just the fitness guy and became the resurrection coach, I was admitting that the last 10 years were a failure. But then I realized the truth about becoming the architect. The architect looks at the rubble of a collapsed building and just sees raw material. I realized I didn't lose those 10 years. I paid for them. They were my tuition. I paid 10 years of time to learn the resilience, the coaching skills, and the pain tolerance required to lead men through crisis. I took the data and I burned the boat. I decided I would rather be a novice at a new game than a master of a game I no longer wanted to play. We are days away from 2026. Most of you are about to set resolutions based on sunk costs. You're going to set a goal to get a promotion in a job you should be quitting. You're going to set a goal to run a marathon with a body that needs rest and rehab. You are trying to optimize a machine that you should be dismantling. You don't need to run faster on the hamster wheel. You need to step off the wheel. If you are staying in a situation solely because of the time you have already spent, you're making a decision based on dead capital. The past is spent. You can't get a refund. The only currency you have left is your future. Don't spend it paying off a ghost. How do you know the difference between sticking it out and being stuck? How do you know when to build and when to burn? You need a diagnostic. On Sunday, December 28th, I am hosting a closed-door live event called the Resurrection Briefing. We are going to run a full system check on your body, your word, and your mission. We are going to identify where you are bleeding energy into sunk costs, and we are going to build the protocol for 2026. This is not a motivational speech. It is a tactical install. If you are ready to stop being a prisoner and start being an architect, click the link in the description or my channel bio. Register for the briefing. When you do, you will immediately be able to download my Protocol Zero field manual so you can start the work today. Stop protecting the past. It's gone. Let's build the future. I'll see you in the trenches.